Key Stage 1, welcome back. So in part 1, Rabbit was explaining to Bear why it's so important for him to eat his own poo. From dawn to dusk you're eating and pooing, said Rabbit gloomily. And half the time you're eating poo. It's an awful life. Maybe that's why you're so grumpy, said Bear. Grumpy? Said Rabbit. I'm not grumpy. Okay, you're not grumpy, said Bear. Well, I'm off to, wash my carrot. I hate being a rabbit, thought Rabbit, and popped down the burrow to eat more of his bear's food. Then, full of energy, Rabbit got back to work on his snowman. Soon he had rolled a huge snowball right over his burrow. What a lovely little head, shouted Bear from the hilltop. Thanks, but I've already made one. It's not a head, said Rabbit, furious, and it's not for you. It's a body. I've only got started, and it'll be much bigger than yours, eventually. Bear gasped. Why? Said Rabbit, irritated. Are you gasping? Don't you believe me? I am gasping, shouted Bear politely, because you are about to be eaten by a wolf. Rabbit looked over his shoulder. Wolf was bounding towards him across the snow. Gosh! Wolf had a lot of teeth, and Rabbit's snowball blocked his burrow. Ah! Spluff! Wah! Said Rabbit, and turned and ran. Like a wolf chasing Rabbit. It's a good job Bear warned him, wasn't it? Oh dear, thought Bear. Rabbit gave me a carrot, so he's my friend. Bear made a snowball and threw it with all her bear's strength. It went over Wolf's head and landed on the frozen lake. Crack, plop, whoops! Bear made a second snowball and threw it with a lot less of her bear's strength. It fell not very far from Bear. Bear frowned. She made a third snowball and threw it with just the right amount of her bear's strength. It landed on Wolf's head right between his ears. Thud! Far below, Wolf skidded to a halt, shouted, You keep out of this! To Bear, and raced on again after Rabbit. Bear sighed. No, to stop Wolf you'd need a snowball as big as an avalanche and as fast as a train. Wait. Bear knocked off a snowman's head and sent it rolling down the hill towards where Wolf was going to be in about a minute. Bear was actually a lot clever than she thought she was. Rabbit, as he ran, looked over his shoulder at Wolf, and his eyes opened wide. Look behind you! Gasped Rabbit. I'm not falling for that, panted Wolf. He did hear a noise behind him, all right. No, he wasn't going to look if it was a trick. That's just another of Bear's snowballs. Well, it is, and it isn't, said Rabbit. He tried to remember what his three-legged grandfather had said about avalanches. Oh, yes, it's a good idea to get out the way of them. Ah, that was it, panted Rabbit, and jumped sideways. What was it? Panted Wolf, and the noise was so loud now that he finally looked over his shoulder. He didn't even have time to gasp. A snowball the size of an avalanche hit Wolf faster than a train and rolled him onto the ice of the lake. The ice cracked. By the time Wolf had crawled ashore, Rabbit was half a mile away. Wolf snorted. Ouch! There was something stuck up his nose. He sneezed, and out popped the old black floppy carrot. Wolf sniffled it. Ugh. Still, he'd rather like the way it just sat there. Maybe I'll go vegetarian for a bit, said Wolf. I'm sick of having my dinner run away from me at 40 miles an hour. Wolf gave the carrot a bite. Uggy, 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 bleh! And Wolf spat the old black floppy carrot back into the lake. He sighed, licked his huge sharp teeth, and went home to dry off. Bear, said Rabbit, Why do you save me when I was so mean to you? Because you gave me a carrot, said Bear. But it was an old black floppy carrot, said Rabbit. It's the thought that counts, said Bear. Rabbit blushed and ran off. Oh well, thought Bear, I suppose he'd gone to eat. Or poo. Or eat poo. But he hadn't. Back home, Rabbit pushed the body of his snowman until it rolled down his hill and halfway up Bear's. Bear, shouted Rabbit, help me push this snowball up your hill. When they got it to the top, Rabbit panted, It's a present for your snowman. They heaved the new head onto the body. Bear did most of the heaving as Rabbit couldn't reach that high. Perfect, they said together. Bear carefully pushed 2 pine cones into the head for eyes. Perfect, they said. Rabbit picked up a curved stick, jumped as high as he could, and slapped a mouth on the snowman. Perfect, said Rabbit. Said Bear. The stick unstuck and fell off. Bear turned it upside down and carefully put it back on so that it made a nice smile. Perfect, they said together. I'm afraid I lost the carrot that you gave me, said Bear. Rabbit smiled, for the first time ever, and it hardly hurt at all. He reached behind him. Ta-da! Rabbit gave his best and brightest orange carrot to Bear. For your snowman. No, said Bear. No, said Rabbit, shocked. For our snowman, said Bear, and he carefully pushed the carrot nose into the snowman's head. Perfect, they said together. So, said Rabbit happily, tomorrow we could meet up and play, and... Sorry, said Bear, I'm really hungry and I've no food. I'll have to go back to sleep till winter is over. Rabbit smiled. It was even easier the second time. He produced a honeycomb from behind his back, and a frozen salmon, and some delicious beetle eggs. But this is just like the food I had, Bear said. It is the food you had, said Rabbit. I'm sorry, I stole it. You can have it all back. But then you don't have any food, said Bear. I don't think I deserve any, said Rabbit very quietly. Well, look here, Rabbit, said Bear. You don't like being a rabbit anyway. Why not stay in my cave and be a bear with me? Perfect, said Rabbit. Let's have a moonlight picnic to celebrate, said Bear. It was a long and lovely picnic. Bear had built up a wonderful appetite after sleeping half the winter, and Rabbit was, as usual, very, very hungry. Rabbit looked out of the mouth of the warm cave at the snowman glittering in the moonlight. He looks a little lonely out there in the cold, said Rabbit. In the morning, murmured Bear, we can make him a friend. And Rabbit and Bear fell asleep together in their warm cave. Outside, the snowman smiled in the moonlight. The end. Hope you enjoyed that, everybody. Perhaps if you're missing your friends, maybe you could write them a letter or send them a special message today just to let them know you're thinking of them. Thanks. Bye.